So we'll do a value. I'll do a value rough first. Let me see my little thing here. And ooh, I like the colors in the sunset one. Oh, they're both sunset. Wow, they're by the way, I took this picture, the one that's longer. So there's one that's more square and there's one that's like quite a bit wider. I took the wider one right off a video. Is that amazing? I found a National Geographic video. I thought that was great. And so I stopped it and screen shared it and blew it up and on Photoshop, and I cropped it. So, and then you can tell I went down into the bottom and really Photoshop things. So anyway, kind of cool. So it's off a video. And then I really went into it. You can see the bottom's really choppy, but that's okay. So, and then we're going to improvise on these so much that, here's something I wanted to show you. Let me get my screen share on here. Oh boy, we got the guy with the blower out here again. Okay. If you'll notice come on, there we go. The windmills line up. And in our case, we don't have to use any sort of formula here. But if you look at that, see that? How they kind of fit into almost a nice little line, and then it meets approximately there on the horizon. And then if you take one from the bottom there, meets there on the right, and the horizon is pretty much, right here. Straight across, so we can. That's what the horizon basically is. And if you'll notice, this particular photograph is kind of, the horizon's almost dead center, so we'll change that. But I just wanted to let you know that these do kind of fall into a line here. These I guess these windmills. Even the top parts. Those four do. I guess it matters where the windmill part is. The little wing of it or whatever. So anyway, those are some things to think about. And I like this one, but I also like the other one for color. So I think we're going to kind of bounce back and forth between the two and use them to create something. Okay, let's see. Let me clear this. And let me jump on out of here. Oh, it's not showing me. Let's do this to me last time. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let me make this a little bit smaller, put this over here. There we go. Yeah. So let's take that horizon line now. If you see there's the center. And you could actually kind of judge where the center is here too, just to give yourself your bearings and where things are. It looks like both pictures are pretty much in the center, and that's usually that's usually not a good thing, but in this case, it really does kind of work. Gosh. But anyway, I'm going to take mine. I'm going to make a little bit more emphasis out of the sky. I'm just going to bring it a little bit below the center. It's usually a better idea if you do that. And this is just a little quick little rough here. So then if I'm looking at it and I'm judging that our last little windmill is almost in the center there. Well, what you could do here is just kind of pull yourself up like a line and say, okay, well, if I want a windmill here to be about that big, I know some of you have had my perspective class. I don't think we're going to use that formula here. But what we can do is just, we'll put our next one and it'll be about that big. And then make sure that the distance between this and this is smaller to this one. Maybe about that big. 1, 2, 3. And a little bit closer. And maybe a little bit closer. Something like that. Something like that. All right, we need to mute ourselves, everybody. Looks like someone's not, oh, a lot of you are muted. Here, I'll mute everybody. Okay. And so there's that. And then let's just, what we can do is just draw a triangle down about how wide you want it to be, something like this. Just do that. You could draw a box too, but I mean, I think a triangle is a good way to do it. And just bring this down like that. Do. And so that sort of shape. Oh, we'll just repeat that over and over. These don't have to be perfect or anything, but it gives you a method on how to do that. So because we're going to do the color one, and then this should be smaller. The color one, and so by the time we get to the finished one, it should be easier. This one's almost straight up and down, isn't it? Something like that. Just judge these. That's a little long. You don't have to make them exactly like theirs. Something like that. We got some marshlands stuff in there. Then what you could do is, I hate to say it, but the vanishing point is pretty much in the center. Let's see. We can stretch that out. I'll make my vanishing point a little off center, just because I know that usually works out better. Something like that. Maybe in there. And just remember, a lot of this too, what you're looking at is, even in here, you're looking at the reflection of a lot of the marshland. So the reflections come down to about there. So does this. Right there. You know what helps? If you turn it this way, it from here to here. Now what you do is you go down to where your shoreline is. See if you look at it, your shoreline's a little bit lower. Maybe the shoreline's about there. Go down there, and if you'll notice, that's where the windmill kind of starts. See? So what you can do is just do this. No, we should have done is just drawn this all the way through, huh? Like that. That was my center line. I think on the next one, I'll put my thinking cap on a little bit more. And let's say if that one's about that high, right? And maybe that one's about that high. And we can just keep that angle going. So at least I know how high it's going to be. And then, whoops, yeah, something like that. Could expand that a little bit if you like. So this is just a mirror. So what I'm saying is that sometimes it's easier to draw it this way than it is to draw it this way. If it's just easy for you to do it this way, then just do it this way. I find them both pretty easy. Here we go. And the smaller one. I'm not sure if I got that one right. That's why it's okay. Let's do it now. So that's going this way. Yeah, it's going kind of, it's a weird one. All right. As you get down here, they're just little pyramids. Like that. So that can help you. I think next time we'll just lay it out like this, but that's why you do the comps. They can help you. All right, I do like the little like cattails in there. It's a nice little balancing agent. So I'll throw some of that in there, and they have their little reflections down in the water. So I'm mainly going by the squarish one. We'll call this Windmills 5. One thing I do like about the Windmill 6, though, is that you have this big old tree here, which I think works very nicely. I'll pull that down to the reflections. And the lilies are kind of neat too. If you wanted to throw some of those in, all a nice little. So there's some nice trees over here. So we could, on this side, I'm gonna pull it right up to it. And so see, I happened to see the windmills and I liked them, and then I saw, oh, there's another one. See, I guess this is a really well-known area. So anyway, so whichever cloudscape you like is up to you. I think I might go for the blue one though. The blue and the orange, a little more colorful. I'm not sure I like the clouds being right behind the windmill stuff, so I might change some of that. things like that down in the water. Okay, and find a brush here. Good old Henry brush. You know what I did the other day, Henry? I was doing this. What was I painting really fine? I was painting the figure. I was doing the line work around a figure at night. And I had this thing just doing these really fine little, I mean, I had this big old brush, it's, well over an inch. And then I was doing these really fine little, like an eye in an eye socket, really small with it. And I don't know.
So one brush does it all, huh?
Yeah. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this.
Can I see the handle so I tell them which one you're using? Yeah, this is the small size general one's calligraphy brush. We only have a few left, but we're ordering more.
Well, what, you're running out of them?
We're restocking soon. Yeah, but we still have the small one. We ran out of large. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the small is quite large, right? It's quite big. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
for this this size here, painting, 9 by 12 is way big enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it works out. Okay, so let's get some value going in here. Oops, that's dark. Add a little water. That's still pretty dark. Add some more water. And let's see here. Very light on the bottom. And then we take that same one here. And just fade it up into there like that. Just remember, you're just painting a reflection. It's a mirror, really. Some pretty good midtones. I don't want to put it on when it's too wet. But what I can do here is while that's drying a little bit more, I can hit, because there's not a lot of value in here. I'm gonna hit some pretty deep darks along here. Okay, I'm going to take those down into the water. As I put them, I usually leave a little bit of a gap there. Even when it's this dark, I might leave a little bit of shoreline in there like that. And then as I put this down into the water, even though it's very glassy, the water, I'm putting it down with sort of horizontal strokes. Maybe a couple of cattails go in there. Use my fingernail. Now we've got, I think this one's really lit, isn't it? I'm looking mostly at the Dutch windmills, number 5, just so you know. This one's pretty light. It's got some light on it. I don't know if we'll do that in the end. It almost looks like it's being lit up with lights. We'll see. Let me come on with something. because even though it's lit up, it's still darker than the sky. There we go. Something like that. And then the next one looks a little darker. It's not catching as much. I don't want to go black or anything, but that got away from me. There we go. All right, a little bit less information as you get toward the horizon. There's one a little bit darker in there. Oh, that's dark. This one's good. This one kind of gets dark at the top. Oh, so it's being lit from below, I think. See, I see some light from below. Why would it be dark on the top? And that's weird. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make it a little bit darker, like the one from the other side.
Almost seems like there's a flash, but they use some artificial light in the front. Something lighting that up in the front.
Yeah, maybe that's it, huh? Yeah, that makes sense. You know, I guess if I were thinking ahead here, I could have done this too, right? But let's just put these in. I'm going to put these in with some more horizontal marks. They don't have to be as, even though it's almost a mirror. So you could put it in like mirrorish. And really dark at the horizon. I mean, really dark at the shoreline. It's kind of a dark there, and then there's a little bit of light along there. A lot of activity usually happens on shoreline, so. Oh, wow, this it just kind of goes dark all the way through on these. That's weird. Something strange about the lighting on this. But it's all light here. Let's. And we could put those little arms up there. Just looking for values here. These are really skinny back there. Here, that's a pretty good testament to this brush right there. Crazy, I have to say. And I beat it up like crazy. I don't know why. It keeps coming back. Let's see if I can get these really fine ones. Let's try some of these. That's a little. Oops, oh, here on the bottom. Okay. Just a couple little indications, that's fine. And some in the water. And they might get a little wavy in the water, so you can kind of, you know, as far as these go, this brush was made for this. Very calligraphic strokes. Just, I love it when some of these strokes kind of, they go up and then they kind of break, like a broken one. Occasionally you get one like that because they do that. You'll see some broken ones. So, and then maybe down into the water. As you put them down into the water, just kind of, you know, squiggly. I'm making mine dark on light. And theirs is kind of dark on light up there. Down here, it gets almost light on dark. We'll see. I think we can get some of that action by just stabbing a couple of little darky darks down in the base. Just a few. Darky darks. That's pretty cool. And then maybe some sort of halftone for clouds. I just want something a little bit darker than my sky. I want some of those. Let's see how that works. Yeah. Some of those, I'm just dry brushing those in, just kind of. That's all. Just a few of those. Maybe put them in the reflection too. I guess it's supposed to be going down that way, huh? All right. I think we got ourselves a little value study going on there. It's enough information. And we learned a few things. This really brings us into the piece. Because they're about equally distant, not exactly, but they're pretty equidistant. And this sort of thing kind of starts bringing us into it. I think maybe I played up on this a little too much, so we'll see. And I have these a little close together for that piece. And that's just going to happen, and that's what makes it your piece of artwork and not a photo representational copy. So, let's go to the color piece here now. The color, our color comp, and let's draw it again. I don't have to put as much detail maybe. But just remember, we started, if this is our center, and that center, I drop that a little below center, and I think I'm gonna come up, if that's about center, I'm gonna take my, my vanishing point and put a little bit off center. So that would be center. I'm putting mine a little off center. Why? I just have a thing about not lining everything up dead center. And you know, wow. Yeah, I think we're okay there. Okay. So I'm gonna say I want my, I hope this doesn't get too loud. This guy's blowing his stuff out here again. Geesh. He times it. He goes, okay, Rob should be having class about this time. Okay. Give me the extra loud one. Okay. Okay, so we have, I want my, I think I want him a little lower than that. Out there. This one. Okay. Let's do that. And then let's take that same distance down to about there and do that. That's what I should have done on the first one. And by the way, if you get to having too many of these windmills, you can take one out. You know, I won't tell. Okay. And again, the only reason now the other thing you could do is throw these in a block like that. Maybe that helps. All I'm trying to do is sort of roughly contain the shape in the easiest way possible. So, and then you just want them getting closer and closer. You're getting sleepy. Sleepy. Okay. So something like that. And you know, here, look, we could just take this right down to here and do the same thing. Because I think a block is just easy to deal with. Am I drawing this too light for you? Sorry. Okay. And so, let's give it a little cap on it. And it just kind of, a little shape like that. And then, right, we have the marshland, which does come down to about here. And it does go, it gets smaller as it goes back to the surface. So you'll want to take it to that point and just take it to there like that. All right. And then let's just, and again, you know, if it helps, whatever helps, you know, doing it this way can really work. If you notice, as you get further away, you can hardly even make out what's going on, so you don't have to be as particular with the shape. Oops, sorry about that. Should have had that up there, sorry. So I'll just put it back like that. Either way, I've just noticed over the years, sometimes it helps to look at it that way. Really judge my distances off. And then we've got, this one's kind of going this way. And so that one's kind of going that way. This one's a little higher over there. Right, whoops, all like that. And you don't have to do yours exactly like, you know, as long as they're at right angles, you can do anything you want. All right, two little tree-ish things. Anything you like would be fine. I like my biggest tree over there. Reflections. Cattails, possibly some lilies and some interesting sky things. All right. Let's do blue sky. You know, at twilight, you do get kind of a lot of green in the sky, especially in the area right between where it's really blue at the top and then it starts getting green because the yellow and the orange, they start mixing. So let's start off at the top. I'm going to go ultramarine. I'm just going to go ultramarine blue at the top. And why not just take that down into the bottom? And then I'm going to go into Prussian blue. Doesn't take very much of that Prussian blue. Yeah. And throw that in there. And down here too. And by the way, you're going to want to paint that right over those. Maybe not over. We'll get some orange on this. So that. Yeah. But we can put it right over these windmills. Unless you want something really bright on those windmills. And then we kind of go into these. I'm looking at some lavender. Something kind of lavender in the sky there. Just a little ultramarine blue and a touch of magenta. And then maybe let's get into that orange. Orange down here. And some yellow. That's elaborate. Wow. Right over. Don't worry about this stuff because it's so dark. And I'm thinking it got a little, I wouldn't mind this being a little bit brighter, so I'm going to pull this out a little bit. Yeah. I noticed on this one, on the windmills number 5, there's some cloudiness along the horizon, and that's kind of neat. So you could put that in if you like. Oh, the other one has something there too. Both of them do. Again, you don't, use your own judgment on that, but let me try a little bit on there. Yeah, just something in there. Kind of want a little bit brighter over here, so I don't know if I can get it brighter, but yeah, a little bit brighter. Maybe a little bit of cad yellow in that. Ooh, there we go. Just need a little shock me color in there. While that's on, I happen to have the yellow on it. Why don't I just throw it over some of these? Since they've got some orange on them, these cattails. And there's a lot on the shore too. Okay. So that gets me going. All right. All right, so instead of black, which you could use, and I'm going to use straight Prussian blue and see what happens here on some of these guys. Maybe a little bit of water in that. Yeah. Certainly could add any colors to it. I mean, it's just a really dark. Prussian blue will get you there. The other colors, you could add magenta to that, and that'll get you there too. Okay. And some over there. Maybe a little bit lighter. I think I'm going to get my color a little bit warmer. So I'm going to add, to the Prussian blue, I'm going to add a little bit of magenta and some yellow. So what? We got red, yellow, and blue. Now mine turned kind of green. So you just keep adding more magenta because I want it to be a little bit more on the warmer side. I got it awfully dark. There we go. And again, if you wanted yours more orange like that one, that's fine. I just like the sort of the darker, like a burgundy color almost. And all these just make it a little wider at the base. Not that that really matters at this point, but something to take note of. Dark. Maybe they'd be a little more fuzzy down here, huh? You take my fingernail and just kind of. Okay. Oops, that got dark. I think this is a little bit darker. I'm going to put a little bit of shadow on my left side over here. Bring that down into here. Just to make it look like it's sunset way over there, and it's because I don't like that flash look. It's okay. Just a couple more things in the background there. Of course, we have that kind of dark along the shoreline.
Rob, I have a technical question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might sound stupid, but in any case, the arms of the windmills.
Yeah.
So, two questions. First of all, my arms from my first one to my second one sort of intersect. Yours don't. And then the direction of the reflection versus the direction of the one on top. Anything on that?
Okay, so yeah, just take this one and flop it. I know the arms are a little difficult when you're trying to flop it, but you have to imagine this being, you know, in reverse. So, you know, if that points that way, then this is going to point that way, right? So this is kind of going that way. This is going that way. And in this case, my line here goes to the vanishing point, almost right to the vanishing point. So I can kind of use that as a gauge. But yeah, the arms, they might give you some trouble. So that's why you know, maybe look at it upside down. That also can help. Just keep looking at it in different ways, but this should reflect that. So so if I point, this one's kind of pushing this way a little bit more, okay? And if that's going that way, then this one should be going like this way a little bit more.
And you move your paper up a little bit, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
No problem. I have this thing really zoomed in because look how big my thumb is. So,
this is very helpful, by the way.
Okay.
Very true.
No problem, yeah. And so now this one right here is also sort of heading down toward the vanishing point right here. So then I would head this one toward the vanishing point. And then I have a couple back here doing little ditties. And if that one's heading very much in the same slant as this one, then I'll just copy it. And this one's kind of, you know, it does a right angle, see? So I would do a right angle like that. And then squiggle. When they get far away, they're not very defined. You don't want too much information in them back here. So let's see, if I have this one doing this, then, you know, just like a little bit of that. That's good. And don't keep them really defined in the back. The more definition up here. And I'm even going to keep this pretty lightweight here. We could make it to where there's maybe not such a perfect mirror reflection. So, you know, we have a couple of these little things, and they're not, you don't have to put in all the little grid marks on there. Just making note, there's a couple of little architectural things there. And, okay. But mostly, I'm liking the colors. I think this guy in here could use a little more punch. I'm gonna bring a couple of those into my water. Just bringing him forward. I know in the photograph, see, one thing about cameras is they'll read a dark that's far away, just as dark as something in the foreground. But if you go use your own eyes and look, even at this time of night, and this could be very dark over here, this will still be darker up here usually. So, and then let's put some of these. Let's start these one off in like a light yellowy orange. I'll take some down into the water, and we can kind of squiggle those a little bit. I'm just using my fingernail there. And they don't really pop because they don't have anything dark at the base. Where they meet the water, you'll get a few little darky things happening in there. I'm using that warm burgundy color down for the darks in here, so easy to make. Add a little red to your Prussian blue, that'll give you a good burgundy. Or how about, I'm sorry, the magenta and Prussian blue, yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we could throw any of those darks. Might get kind of squiggly in the water too. I'm thinking, I like these colors. This is fine. Just as a quick little note though, I think I personally would like this a little bit darker at the top and at the bottom. Just kind of staging it a little more. You know, it's watercolor, it's gonna dry different. And then we finished last time with some of those kind of cool, interesting clouds. Something like that. All right. Fun. Enough for a color comp. And that gave us something to go on. I'm working on rough paper today. I think that's rough. Yeah. I bought some rough paper. I forgot. Oh, it looks pretty rough to me. Now, let me pan out here. Let's see. And there's the top, so I can come up a little bit. Just want to get the maximum surface here. So there, and there. Now I can bring this all the way. Got this big arches label right here. I don't care, that's fine. My top will be there. Bottom will be around here. All the way, look at that. And then find your center. And maybe come down a little bit below it, and maybe that will be the horizon. And find the center this way, and come over a little bit. The center, maybe come over a little bit. That's what I did. And then judge about how high you want your windmill to be. So let's say I want it about this high. And then you want to get that about the same down here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, if you don't get it right, it'll be the end. No. Okay. So let's just box out about how wide we want these to be. I want to make this a little wider this way. Yeah. Let's just take that all the way through. I'm glad I made that a little longer because I know we have this little marshland thing there, so that'll work good. Yeah, put that in there. And get these roughly the same. I know mine's a little wider down here. I notice reflections will distort things too, so it's okay. I'm gonna judge the next scab. You know, there's quite a bit of, I didn't realize that. Wow, there's this next one is quite a bit smaller. I want to make it about there. Come down. And make these two closer than these two are. Yeah, I don't think they're equally distant because we're getting some weird things happening back there. It's just fine with me. We can just fly by the seat of our pants here. You know, the secret is you'll get distance in your piece as long as these are smaller and closer together than these. You know, but if you put a big one back here, you're going to have a problem. Someone's going to say, wow, that's a 300-foot windmill. Okay. Let's put a little baby one back here. That's roughly pretty good there. Well, we've got little trees and things happening along this ledge. Got the big tree happening there. And that'll be reflected. What you can do if you want to get that right, just kind of go like that. Just kind of go like that. And then you can just kind of come back in and basically the same thing we did with these. All right. And And we certainly could make our shoreline not exactly like theirs. So I'm just using that as a rough estimate, really rough. I'm kind of wondering if I should make that windmill bigger. I won't get as good of a reflection. I think what I'm going to do here is just, I'm going to make this part a little bit bigger. It doesn't feel big enough to me. Let's give it a kind of a V shape on the top. And if it's hard for you to get that curve right, just go like this. Just go, okay, it's about that much wider at the base, right? So it's about that much wider than that is. And draw yourself a triangle like this. And then come back in and swoop it a little bit. You swoop. I'm gonna have a class next term called swooping your, no. Although my drawing class, we do a lot of swooping. Here we do a lot of smacking. You know, there's smacking and then there's swooping. You got to learn the lingo, okay? It's just important. You know? That way when you go into everybody else's art classes, you'll know exactly what they're talking about. You're going to go in there and say, yeah, smack it. No, you want to swoop it this way. They're going to look at you and go, what planet did you come from? Okay. All right, so we have this, and these are going to be at a right angle. So you know what I mean? Right angle. You can make that as big as you want. Something in that neighborhood. I'll figure out the rest. We could even put these little guys on there. So V shapes. And now, right? This one's heading this way, right? heading this direction. So then the down here is going to be heading this direction. So what you could do is just, before we even, draw any of this, we could just throw one down there approximately like that. And since this one's going pretty much to the vanishing point, pretty close to the vanishing point there, then so will that. And that's the angle right in there, just something close to that. It's about at a right angle to this, see? I don't know what judge those distances. But let's get this little, give him a little cap there. And a little of that action. This one doesn't have to be as perfect. Not that either one of them have to be perfect, but a looser line is a better deal for you. We can squiggle all that up later. One thing I like about a gum eraser is it doesn't give you all these little newbies. There it is. Under everything. See? No newbies. Just grabs it all. Let's repeat, but this one is quite a bit smaller and less information. I'm going to put my windmill going slanting back a little bit this way. So that would mean it's going toward this. See how it's going, these two are intersecting going this way? So then that means this one, if that's going that way, then this one will want to lean back a little bit like that. Something like that. And then this one, a little bit more of a right angle to it. This one too. And these can be fuzzy. They don't have to be really perfect, but as we're throwing our little reflection strokes in there, we want to just kind of go, with these angles in mind. All right, I'm looking at this one and see, okay, this one looks like it's headed like this way. And then we have one that's kind of facing us, coming at us. All those little architectural things can be really neat. So again, if this one's leaning back this direction, then this one will go that direction. So, so this one's going that direction. This one will go this direction. This one's a lot shorter because it's coming at us. I mean, that really. I hope you guys aren't hearing that dog because I can't shut the dog off. I've never even heard this dog before. He sounds like he's like 250 pounds or something. Jeez. I had this happen not too long, not the dog thing, but I had a bunch of noise. Let me see if I can. I've got this window thing I can put on my window. You know those car window shields? Are they insulated? I'm hoping it's did something. Quiet, dog. What a new Zoom problem, huh?
Robert, it's not bothering me.
Okay, good. Because it's kind of loud over here. Okay, good.
I was gonna say it's probably bothering you more than it is us.
Okay, well, it's done now. All right, so we have this one going up that way. And this way. These ones back here don't have to be. Something like that. And I saw in the other, what's it, the longer one, what's it called? The Dutch Mill 6. And it's got some neat little stuff back there. I'm just going to bring mine in back of them. Just to see what that does is it naturalizes the architecture. It kind of puts something around all those hard edges. Again, we'll bring that down into the water. It just helps us to I'm going to guesstimate the bottom of my marsh to be around there. Bottom of that one there. Got our cattails. What do with those? They come right up and over the reflection, so somewhere in there. As far as the clouds go, I don't really know if we need to draw into those really. Okay. Oh, I didn't put those little things out here, did I? Pieces of architecture can kind of be fun. And sometimes they're so fine, these lines at this scale, I let my pencil line do the action. So like let's say, for instance, some of this. Like if you wanted to include some of this grid work on this one, we could paint it in, but you could also just kind of draw them in like that. And that's it. You get a little more control, but you'll see that's very traditional for lots of artists to just let their pencil line do a lot of the work. And at this scale, you really don't see much. I guess you do see a little bit in the water. I'm just going to make a couple of little notes, letting myself know that that's down there. I'm ready to go. Ultramarine blue. Here we go. Oh boy. Now, you can just put it down and then use water, or you could put water down there and put your paint into it. Putting it down here like I do first, you have a little more control. If you don't want the control, you want some really groovy stuff happening, just put down the water first. So I'll show you. I'm going to paint this right outside my lines here a little bit too. It's great, pretty strong. And then with a wet brush, just pull that thing down. We could just do the bottom like I did on the comp, But I think in this one, I think what I'll do is just start introducing some, what do you call it, Prussian blue. Little greener blue in there. All the way through. Maybe a little water. Whoops. Not supposed to be on there. Just water. See, we're still doing wet in the wet. Now I want to go for that orange. Just cad yellow, cad red. A lot of yellow. I paint it right over my, and it won't matter if you get it right into the marshland too, because it's got a lot of orange in it. I like to light over here, so I want to keep that. And I see some magenta popping up here and there. I love it. I'm going to throw a little, that was pretty strong, little hints of magenta in there like that, see? Here and there, and it gets kind of green in between the yellow and the blue there. So I'm going to throw a little more of that green action happening in there. And then if you want to put those clouds along the edge, right here, along the, right there, you don't have to, but I'm going to put them in, kind of like that. Doing some of that. I see some streaks in there too. Watch. Just take this color right here and watch this. See? Aren't those cool? Cool. Very watercolory. Kind of wish I had a little stronger color in there, but I think maybe I'll come back and glaze something in there. That's not to fuss with this too much when it's wet in the wet.
Quick, Rob, just a question. I'm sorry I missed
Yeah.
that color. That's close to the horizon, the dark one. What is that color?
You know what? I just used, I had this ultramarine and I took a little touch of the magenta into it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Ooh, it's doing its little watercolor oozy thing. It's blooming. Okay. Yummy, yummy. I'll bring that behind my little trees here. Okay. And then let's do some sky down here too. I'll give you guys 30 seconds. Now, some people would argue maybe you should start putting in those dark clouds. Now, let me test this. Now, you know the dark ones that are behind? Let me try that. I think that would be a good idea. I was going to do them later like I did in the other one, but I think I'm just going to. I'm using like that burgundy color, so I'm using Prussian blue with a little bit of magenta in there. And so I'm dry brushing this into wet paint. So we're going to get all kinds of little, who knows what's going to happen effects. I like it. It's kind of drier up here, so I'm going to get a little bit different. Those are neat. Yeah, I don't want them as dark as my windmill is going to be. So I went ahead and that should lighten up. Now, oftentimes, and you'll see in this piece, it's probably color corrected by the photographer, but oftentimes the color in the water won't be exactly the same as the color in the sky. And I'm gonna just loosen up that edge a little bit, maybe with water, just a damp brush here. There we go. All right. Do wish that was yellower. It's very tempting not to glaze that, but I think I'm just gonna wait. And I can't help myself. I think I'm gonna try some CAD. Don't be green now. Ooh, it's green. Ooh, I'm glad I looked. It mixed in with another color. You know the story, right? Okay, let's test that. Okay. I just want some serious saturation down there. There we go. Good enough. And the reason I did that was because I'm impatient. No, the reason I did that was because it was still a little damp, and it'll mix. It'll pull the colors together. So that's why I get that in there. So I see some red in there too. Wow, I'm getting nuts now. This is when you ruin the painting, because it's already working. Why fix it? But I can't help myself. Right? Got to hit a little bit of red, kind of orangey red right along there. Just CAD red. And then I know in the piece, this sort of violet along is much darker. I don't want to get it too much darker than that, but I think I'm going to go ahead with some ultramarine blue and magenta. And just hit that a little bit darker. I don't want it as dark as this, but yeah, see, it's still a little bit wet too. That's good. It dried a little bit different. Take that right off. There we go. It's on my brush right now, so why not? Just take that ultramarine blue. I was gonna put it right here, but I think we'll do it. We'll do this down here the same way we did that. We'll just start with the big color first. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with this big wash, ultramarine blue. Take it right off. And then take some water so you don't get any of those stiff edges. And just water.
Rob, was there a reason you didn't do the reflection the same time you did the
because it's too much.
Okay.
It's too much for people to handle. I could have been a big show off and done it, but I think that, on a small scale it works, but on a big scale, it's because I have you guys in mind, man. I have you in mind, okay?
Okay.
Freak people out. But if you want to know the truth, on my own, I might have used one of Henry's big ginormous brushes and just went pop, plop, 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 plop.
Would you put the sky over the reeds?
Yeah. Heck yeah. Oh, you mean over here? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I went down to the Prussian blue. A little bit of that Prussian right in there. And I'm just going to stop it at the reeds. And instead of having these really hard stop and start marks right there, I'm just going to use a little bit of water there and just sort of fade it into the reeds there. Just sort of, so cattails, whatever you call them. Yeah. Look, I got a little bloom mark there. I think I want a little bit darker too on the top. I think I want a little bit more. Yeah, there we go, a little stronger. Just a little bit of water in there. Again, I can just use a little water in here so I don't get those really harsh. And then we went down to the, I think I'm going to go a little stronger with that cad yellow. A little stronger. And this won't matter if you get into the reeds there. Just right over them. We're getting some serious green in there. And then we got a little bit kind of pink in there. Here, but I'll just use a little water here. And then I hinted some of that violet along the edge. Ultramarine blue and magenta. That'll get you the violet. That's a pretty violet, kind of redder. I added a little bit more blue to it. Kind of right over the marsh there. And the more I mix it, see how the grayer it gets? And it's getting pretty big down here. It's kind of ruining my sunset. What are you doing? You're ruining my sunset. Okay. I remember seeing a little bit of, yeah, there's a little magenta along that edge too, right in there. I'm gonna hit a little bit of that in there. I brought a little bit of that in there. Just hitting that in there. I'm pushing it back into that to make that a little bit smaller. It's got green on me, and I'm not gonna sit there and fuss with that. I know better. I'm gonna do it, right? I keep saying that to you today. Don't do this, and then I do it. Now, I wanted to go strong with this color, It's very strong. I think the paper will suck a lot of that. It'll dry more pastel-y, but we'll see. We have, so if I have this going that way, then I'll have one kind of going this way. See, that one's that way. Let's say it starts with this, so I can start it like there and just kind of go like that around that way. And as long as it's pretty close, it doesn't have to be perfect. We've got these ones almost straight, a little bit of a slant, a little higher over here, a little bit lower over there. I use that burgundy color I made out of Prussian blue, magenta, and I think a little bit of cad red. I mean, yeah, that's it. Hope this isn't too strong. Just dampening the edges a little bit here. Okay. That'll be all reads in there, so. Now this is still wet. So let's do the marshland. I'm using Prussian blue, cad red, magenta, you know, a whole bunch of dark stuff. I like a little more red in it though, so I'm going to push it a little more on the red side. And I'm using a lot less water. And remember, leave a little something along where the water meets the shore. Little. See, so if I do it, if I bring this stuff down into here, see, I'll have a little bit of a white edge in there. And then we'll put something over it later. Pulling that down into the reflections. And swoop it a little bit. Put a little, there we go. Some little horizontal edges there.
Rob, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Did you re-wet the bottom of your paper before you're painting in the water and the little reflection?
I did the same way I did the top, so I just put down the blue and then I kept a wet edge, a little bit of water on the edge, and then I went into the next color and did the same thing until I was into here.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure, yeah. All right, and you can make up whatever you want on your shore there, or whatever kind of trees, and I could do something like that. All right, we have a bunch of brush back here. And it starts picking up some light, getting more orangey back here. So I'm going to add some more orange to my color. I'm just adding cat red, cat yellow. I'm just going to pick up some of that color in there, maybe a little stronger than that. Stronger, more saturated orange. You can always gray it, right? There we go. I'm just going to pull that all the way down. And if it's too saturated for being this far away, we'll just gray that by adding a touch of complementary color, blue. Bring that down into the water. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a shoreline. I'm leaving it a little white there. Back here, it kind of doesn't matter. You don't really see it too much, but those get kind of green back there. So I'm using Prussian blue, cad yellow, for some of these green guys back here. Might not be dark enough. But I'm seeing a lot of green in here too, so yeah, it needs to be darker. Some more Prussian blue. To darken up that green. And of course, take that same color down into the water. As I put that in, I use kind of horizontal strokes and just horizontal strokes every time you put them down. You could use, some people do it really wet into wet and do that. That's great. It's less controllable, but you get really good effects that way. Now it looks a little funny with that white edge there. So I'm going to come back in with a dark edge right along this white edge. And occasionally you'll see some of the white edges sort of come through. So on and so on and so on and so on. Like that. And that's just what happens along shore edges. You just get lots of splashes and things happening now. Maybe not when it's glassy like this, but I like to do that along my shore edges. Then I'll probably come back with a glaze and just calm that down. Same as this one. I'll just calm that one down a little bit. In fact, we could probably do that now. Just take a little bit of like sky color, like maybe, let's try something tricky. Let's try something warm in there. Let's try an orange along the shore. Just let that dry. And if it's too much, we'll just take it back with a little bit of the dark color we're using here. But I like a little separation in the reflection between this and this. The stroke looks a little funny. Some dry brushing. And I'm always telling you about, see how it's kind of falling into a big ball? So I'll just give it a couple of little ins and little outs. See, we kind of go out. There we go. Out a little bit, in a little bit. So it's not too much of a just a straight ball. And sometimes that requires you to change your reflection a little bit, and that's okay. Good enough. Done deal. Let's do some windmills. Well, I kind of wish these two are equal. Hate that. So easy to do. That's cool. Okay, windmills. I'm going to start it off brown. So red, yellow, and blue. Cad red, cad yellow, blue. Cad red, cad yellow, ultramarine blue. They do kind of have a little graceful curve to them. I wonder what the reason for that is. All right, good enough. I have it on my brush, might as well throw it on this one. And pretty dark on those the windmill arms. I'm going with Prussian blue, cad red. And that. Like that. And we definitely could have done these at the same time, huh? Didn't think about that. Well, Since I have this color on my brush, I think I'll just do these. It really doesn't matter. Mostly the reason I would do these at the same time is because I already have it on my brush. So I already had that on my brush. I didn't think about these ones. Oh, well. Other than that, you don't have to do everything in some certain order. But it is nicer sometimes when you have a certain color on your brush to bring that down into the water. Yeah. So this color's easy to make. All right. Oh, I made mine this way, didn't I? Whereas that one's going that way, so. Oh well. I'm doing it this way. And if it's wrong, you can tell. You can tell on me. All right, and these are just really small. You could probably use a pen for those, like a permanent, what do you call those things? Like a Sharpie. Okay. It's looking good. I'm gonna come back with that brown again and go into the water. That was red, yellow, blue, ultramarine blue, cad red, cad yellow. Inches up a brown. That looks pretty good. And just take that into the water. I'm gonna paint it pretty much like it is first. And then get a little jiggy with it along the edges. I'm doing it more than what's in the photo. Now, if you'll notice, those little waves in it will get a little bit wider, a little further apart as they come at you. You might even get something like that. They'll get a little further apart as they come at you. And that's because of perspective. It just, as things get further away, they appear smaller. Now, this right here will just be hardly anything. You won't see the jiggies as much. Oh, I'm seeing something though. I still put them down in a horizontal manner. Okay. Like that, that's just fine. A little dry brushing. And dry brush is perfect for this because it's already kind of blurry, you know? See what I'm doing now? We are going to put some darker things into the house or the mill. I'm going to use a little just ultramarine blue. I'm glazing that over here so it looks really dark. And I'm just going to take it down here. I'm just going to pretend like there's a light source coming from, because it kind of is. This is lit funny, so I'm going to relight it myself. I'm just gonna see. I'm just dry brushing that over, kind of like shinglish. And I'm gonna do the same thing in the reflection. See, it doesn't really matter if it's not perfect. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And these are just dark over here, but whatever. So if there's a shadow up there, there's going to be a shadow down here. And those windmills, I can still see my drawing in there a little bit. So now, here's what I do. I just kind of throw it in there like that. And then just take the other, I'll take my other brush that doesn't have anything on it. Not supposed to have anything on it. And I'm just going to jiggle it all up. Let's see. Should I have taken this one? Let's see. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Okay. So like that, and then horizontally. I'm just using the same brush now. It seems to work better. Just like that. We have these two little things coming out the side. All right, we got this one. Kind of blurry. And a couple of those. Good enough. I'm gonna put a little bit of that stuff on there. Kind of grid pattern. I'll just notice little touches of it. That's all. Touch over there. And just gonna come into this white here now, because it really wouldn't be a white, but I just wanted something lighter. See, just so you get it, you really feel like there's a shore there. That's the idea. That's all. I am seeing some darker things up there. So again, I'm using the CAD red and the a little bit of Prussian blue, and I'm just dry brushing into some of this brush here. I'll pull that down in my reflection a little bit, keeping it really horizontal. Just a little darker values. Well, now that camera really sees these as black. You can just adjust that any way you want. I know that cameras are usually off in that respect. They're getting better. They just don't see the subtleties that your eye sees. And there's something with the mechanical process that, I don't know. It's always been ever since I started working from photographs, I can remember teachers telling me, be careful because those darks in the background aren't black. And they're not as dark as something up here, but the camera just reads it all as black and really flattens things out. Okay, so I'm gonna get into some cattail action here. The fun part. I'm using orange, cad red, cad yellow, and you see how my brush stroke is really kind of far apart here, like that, kind of ratty. So you can get a kind of a stroke like that, see? Very sort of cattail-like, right? Great place to start. Let me get kind of far apart over here, so. And bring some of that down into the reflection. As well, they're kind of perfect reflections. I'm going to zigzag mine a little bit. So that would be the light. And you have to imagine there's shadows on, like each little blade has a shadow on the right, on the left-hand side. So if this is a blade of grass, on this left-hand side, you'll have a shadow on it. So I need every one of you to get exactly every single little shadow. Absolutely, no, you're just joking. So take that orange you just made. Could you imagine? Like, okay, Rob, you're a little insane today. All right, so I'm taking that, again, that Prussian blue and the cad red, and adding a little more red to it. And again, with that kind of dry brush edge there, I'll put something light behind it there. If we see the stroke, see, we can come back in here, get some of those. See, watch. Doesn't take any effort at all. And take those down into the water. Leaving a lot of orange, you don't want to cover it all up. And then I'm going to go for a little more Prussian blue in there to get that thing darker. We're going to go for the darks. The darks that would make it pop, right? And this one really dry now. Really keeping my things apart like that. And you notice, like I said earlier, that they get really dark at the base. We can hit some of those up in there like that. Reload anytime you like. I'm going to throw a little more red into mine. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And just kind of bring them back up into there, Bring some down. I'm going to use this side. Just make sure you crisscross a couple of strokes too. You don't want all your strokes being right next to each other. See, some of them do that. Bring those right down into the, and anyone who's painted with me knows you always got to throw that diagonal in your reflection like that. For some reason, I don't know what it does, but it always makes it look reflection-ish. Just a couple. And what I like to do is give a little bit of character So I'm gonna just take a couple of darkies. Just a couple of darkies, and I see a couple of cattails up there too. But like I say, I like to just, you know, a couple of cattail things, and a few little broken branches, like, you know, they'll just kind of break like that. See, looks like a million little things happening, and then you just have to put a couple little details on there. That's all. I'm not really even looking at it, by the way. I'm looking at the painting. I'm not looking at the photo. So you can pull any of these into there if you like. Sometimes I'll just take my finger and just, see, scratchalicious. You could even, if you wanted to get a couple of smears in there, just take a little water, very little. I'm just kind of dry brushing a little bit of water on there, and just take my fingernail and just kind of smear it. Oh, what fun! Look at that, 11:30, perfect. Oh my gosh. You know, sometimes the wind will blow a little, you'll get a little like sliver of a reflection in there too. And, you can do a little of that. Same way, just take some water, reactivate the area. Like let's say here, and then just take your fingernail or a razor blade or something, just kind of, just hit a few of those in there. Those can be fun. We didn't put the lilies in there. I'm not sure if it needs it. I don't think it needs it. Sometimes you put too much in there, it just gets ridiculous. So, you know, this is the time in the painting where you want to just refine and anything you like. I'm dry brushing a little bit more of that into there. Some of that right there. That would be back here. All right, that's good. Fun. You can play with details and any kind of thing you like. So, email me over your pieces. Let's see who we got here so far. Oh, we got a lot of them. All right. And let's get to it. Okay. Charlene's number 1. Okay. That's nice. That's very nice. Okay. Let's see. We got, I do it on the screen share here. There you go. I'm gonna get my little tools here. Not that I need any. That's a beautiful little simple little silhouette. And it doesn't need to be any more than that. I like how you really just simplified everything. You got your mute on? You can take your mute off. Let's see. There we go. Are you there, Charlene? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just critique this anyway. So look at, so this color, see how even her blues have a little brown in them? They have something red in them. And what's happening there is we have a very analogous color scheme, a muted analogous color scheme, because we've gone from orange, to red, to maybe something kind of violet, to something in the blue-gray area. And it's gray in the blue because the blue has a little bit of orange in it, see it? So that makes for a very harmonious thing, You won't really see that in nature like this. A person has to really kind of do this. You can kind of see this in nature, but I like how you made it human. So I love it. I love all the watermarks, the blooms. It just looks very effortless painting. Didn't sweat any small stuff. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe I would have wanted to see a couple more reflections in there, and those are something you can do after it's dry too. So, not. Besides that, sometimes I like to see something along the shore, dividing them up. But I have definitely seen shores where you don't see anything. So, and this would be one of those situations. All right, beautiful, beautiful analogous painting. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Claire. All right, so see how your colors, your whole color scheme is on the cool side?
Yeah, I did the other picture.
Oh, you did another one?
No, the one that you sent two, and one was a lighter.
Oh yeah, that was cooler. Yes, yeah.
I mean, I really love the bright colors and everything. I really love the one that you did. I just felt like I wanted to try something with the cooler. See it.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, that's why I put that option out there. The sky, the way you handle the sky is great. I looked at that sky and I go, well, I'm not sure how I'd handle it, but I'll get into this. And then I looked at the other sky and I thought, well, try that one. But yeah, this is a good solution for that sky. It's not an easy sky, those kind of clouds.
No.
But did you paint them right over the windmills?
Yes. Yeah. The sky and the reflection first, like you did, and then did the shoreline next, and then the last thing was the windmills.
Yeah. That's a good way to handle it. So,
the last thing may have been the lily pond out front.
Yeah. So with the lilies, now I might have used more horizontal strokes.
Yeah, they weren't there in the picture, and I didn't quite, because I thought maybe it's a winter scene and they were all dead.
Yeah, they probably are. I assume it's Holland, so.
Yes, they must have a.
This reflection looks great. That's a great looking reflection in there. Wow.
Good.
Very reflectionish. So yeah, these dark things right here, I'm not sure about.
Okay.
I might, if they had a reflection, because they look like they're sticking up, so maybe if they had a reflection or something, I'm not.
Okay, yeah, I see there's
something.
Reflection on them. I didn't see.
Whatever you want, you just don't want them to, right now, see, because they're all right next to each other, they do attract a lot. So,
okay.
So I would probably do that. If you want more of your focus to be up in here, I would play those down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. Beautiful. Very light and delicate.
Thank you.
And one little quick other thing is maybe a little more attention to these edges along the, like maybe a little more dry brushing to these edges.
Okay.
That might be, and this is very successful, by the way, back here. See how you're getting that other little piece of land way back there?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Did you learn that from the last one? We did that one like 1 or 2 ones ago, right?
I think it was a happy accident, you know.
Hey, you know.
But I
You're
like
not supposed to say that.
well,
I'm just joking.
glad that you pointed it out because now I'll be more conscious about it.
Yeah, I think one or 2 paintings ago or something, I hit something kind of bluish along the far away, and it just makes something
Seems
feel
far
further
away.
away. But anyway, okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Nice work. Louisa. All right. All right. Let's see. All right, what can I get my little thing here? Black. Or maybe red. Okay, you know, the handling of these trees is great. I think it's a good idea to start them off soft edge. Did you paint them into a wet sky?
Yes, the original, yeah, the first wash was wet on wet and I let it drip in the water
Oh,
for the reflection. So it was all wet and wet and it was very nice. It was spreading and then I added more dark after it was dry or was damp.
uh-huh. Oh, that's how you get those soft edges. So those are pretty. They feel far away too.
Yeah, I wanted that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because up in here now, these feel closer because they're a harder, more stiff edge. That's why. I might put a couple more of those little edges in here.
I was thinking about that, and now that you're saying it, I forgot. Yeah.
I might jiggle this up a little bit, that edge.
Okay.
This edge is fine. And then these I might put a little more. I know we did those at the very end, so maybe a little more like some darks, and then pull some darks.
Yes.
Possibly.
Yeah, I turned in the photo before you demoed that because I have to leave early today.
Okay.
So yes, I will. Yeah, the demo told me how I should do that, which I didn't do. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so a few of those, and then I had a couple little cattails, etc. Little broken things. Make sure you take them right off too.
Right. Yeah, not too regular. Exactly.
Yeah, same here. Just take things right off. That way, if you were to mount this, or you have, what do you call it, a mat board, it gives you a little bit of extra play.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Good. Nice sky. Nice. I like how you brought that down to the water. Looks good.
Yeah, I love those yellows. And, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like how you threw those yellows in. That was a good move. You did those later, huh?
Yes, to the left. Yeah, I added to the left later.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Okay, thanks. This was a great photo. I loved it. Thank you, Deb.
Oh, great. I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you.
I was trying to get everybody's requests. I don't think anybody said windmills, but whoops, this messenger seems dangerous. Oh. Jane. I think Jane's not dangerous. There you go. You there, Jane? Oh, are you muted, Jane?
No, I'm not.
Okay, there you are. All right. So you're working on Fabriano, I see, huh?
Yeah, you can really read it.
Yeah.
And it's backwards.
Wrong.
Yeah, that's, I'll have to mark you down for that.
Yeah.
Do love these colors. Wow. Yeah, all of this is just great. Look at that. Beautiful. Did you rub back into it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I had something and then I added more here.
That's fine. You're getting that rub out look. I mean, a lot of people, and I have to say, that's a good example of how some people don't like that look because it's not as fresh or whatever. But now, what I used to do is I would beat my board up first and get this whole texture on there before I even started. This kind of texture on there, and I get a lot of these beautiful residues. And then I'd paint my painting into that. And then if I had any kind of rub out I had to do, I just do that and blend it right in. Mm-hmm. So you see how you can take a negative and make it a positive.
Right. So,
anyway, that came out really beautiful. This is what happens when you rub out. See this little residue effect she gets around the outside? This beautiful these little residues are beautiful. I love them.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. All right, so now that you have so much orange in the water, with yellowy orange, I might put some more, I might just thinly glaze a little yellowy orange up in the sky.
Yeah, I think you're right. Sure. I need one. Yeah.
See, something like that. And I think these look great. I like them brown like that. It's nice.
You know, the reeds, I think what's cool is that some are reflections and some are the actual reeds. And I didn't know quite how to do that. I tried sort of a horizontal line to make the difference between the water but I don't know what to do about that.
Just take a little water. Take a little water and wet it down, right? And then take your fingernail or something, scratch into it. You can even the back of your brush sometimes if you have and you just kind of scratch into it. You can get a little. I mean, not this bright, but maybe this blue here. You can almost get like a little bit of a kind of like an area where the water would hit the stick.
Right. Sure.
And then shoot that down into it. And I just took my fingernail into a lot of this and jigged it up a little bit.
Right. I'll try that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's something you have to play with. Now, one thing extra I would do too is I might put a one or two just diagonal ones in there. Mm-hmm. Just a couple. They don't have to be a big deal, but see how they get to be repetitive if they're all going straight up and down. So just a couple little little broken ones or something here and there.
Right. Okay.
No big deal, but yeah. Anyway, nice looking color.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see, let me go back here. There's Jane. Let's go to Charlotte. Oh. Wow, you went big.
Well, it's long and skinny.
Yeah. How wide is that? It looks like it's like 18 inches or something.
Yeah, but I thought it was a long, skinny painting.
Yeah. And so there you go. You went with you accentuated what you were saying. Great. I think that's fantastic. Something you can do in watercolor too is because it's on paper, if you have a long enough paper, you could do that on yours, but
I don't know.
You can always adjust the size on a canvas.
Yes.
You have to go and buy that special size. All right. Nice and loose as usual. Nice looking color. Your paint is totally brave and look at all the watercolor effect. All the watercolor effects happening in there.
I was going to go back over the shadows, but then I just didn't want to, to make them more specific.
Yeah. I like what you did with this one. As far as shading goes, it's just sort of, not necessarily a shadow, but just some dark in it.
Yeah, I was going to add dark to the first one, but I just kind of wanted to look at it for a while, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. I could take it either way. I could see some more jiggies on the edges, but
It's like a Indian totem pole.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying down here. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
But it's kind of exciting to see what happens.
I mean, it reads as a reflection. So, and I like how you handle these reeds over here. The reeds read. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry about that. But that's just fine.
This is that handmade paint that woman makes her own paint.
Oh my gosh, really? Wow.
I don't know. It was fun.
Now, what do you think of these whites? You want to just leave them?
Well, I like to leave some of the white, but I don't know. I like that white showing through on watercolors because white is so precious.
Yeah.
Make it orange, right? That looks good. Oh, that would be great. Make it orange.
Maybe a little in
Yeah,
there.
maybe I'll put a slice of orange in there.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Have a slice of orange. Why not?
Yeah, I think that adds to the picture.
Yeah, well, I was thinking because of your reflection.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. So I'll do that.
Oh, cool. And then it was worth the crit.
I know. Well, I always like the critiques.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Nice work.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love these calligraphic strokes in here. Okay. And Katie. Hey, Katie.
Hi.
Hi. There we go. All right. Nice color, little bloom there in the sky, I see. Yeah, the sky and the water, pretty darn good. If you like, you could even play with some of that. You know, I dragged a couple of clouds. You know,
Yeah.
so that I mean, you're kind of doing it here. So, yeah, this looks just perfect. Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these, don't you think? I love this.
Yeah.
The reflections are just fine. Yeah, you're jigging up the edges there a little bit. That's good. Maybe a little darker in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I know these long, hard architectural lines aren't always the easiest things. Yeah.
Right.
That's not bad.
I found this
Not
one to
too
be
easily
really
bad.
challenging.
Yeah.
I think for me, the reflection in the water was impossible. It was quite a challenge. So I'll just keep practicing.
It's something to play with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might want to even do little studies. Like, you know, our little watercolor study before we started.
Yep.
Little quick ones like that, or maybe just little details. Like, for instance, how do I handle like a long straight thing like that in the water?
Yeah.
Maybe I just kind of, you know.
Yep.
But again, one of the good reasons to see the crit though, because everybody does the way everybody else does it. All right, then. So if this is the dark base, then I might see a little bit more of these coming down, you know, as reflections.
Okay.
And like I said, make sure you get a couple of those little, you know, a couple of diagonals. You do have a couple of diagonals, but
I tried.
yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about them too, they do this whole thing does fit into a sort of kind of a contained shape here.
It is.
So you know what you do? You just break a couple over here on their own, make one a little bit taller over here. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but I was kind of messing with my shape of my tree over there because it was falling into like it was doing this. It was getting like equal over here and equal over here, and it started looking like Mickey Mouse. I don't know. And then I see how your edge right here is kind of straight. So
Yeah. Oh, I do.
So then I would just dry brush that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously know how to do it. You did it right here, just perfect. So.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, Francis. Ooh, colorful. Get into it. Ooh, I like all these colors. You there, Francis?
Yes. Yes.
There,
I'm there.
there. Let me see.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. You got that windmill just right in the water, I gotta tell you.
It's really pretty funny.
You know what? It is. It makes me happy. The painting makes me happy. It does. It does. And I mean, it makes me like cheerful. The colors make me cheerful. You know, this is an artist getting carried away in the work, and that's what your job is. That's your job. You know? I mean, okay, we could argue that maybe this horizon could be a little flatter. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's human, you know? It's human. It's okay, so now I might, like for instance, take a little of this green, measure, like for instance, it's about as high as this, right? So I'd probably take that green into around this area, and some of that orange, maybe right down below it, you know. Only if you want to, though. I mean, it's cheerful. You know, by the way, those Dutch, they love these colors. Really, really. Oh man, they like the colors really harsh. A little more, not as muted, shall we say. So then, see how this green here stops right at the windmill? I might just carry it through, just carry it behind. That's something I'm going to do. You know, and then everything I'm saying here can be refuted, because I hate to even say something sometimes, because, you know, you're like, Rob, if the painting is working, then why fix it, you know? So I'm just going to offer some comments and suggestions. It doesn't mean that you have to fix them. You know, technically, it would be a little flatter on the horizon. Okay, whoopee. Okay. Technically, maybe these two, because I know they are closer together than these two, but then we go. So I personally, I think I would have made this one maybe around here.
Right. Yeah.
And then like there.
I realized it was off, but it was too late to fix it. So
it doesn't matter. I hate to say anything because it looks so good. Okay, now I might take, and you know, I do like that you went with these bluer ones in the background because they feel further away. That's nice. I might take some of those back here. Okay. Again, it's the same thing as the screen thing. It will want to continue. Same as this, it should want to continue this way. You see how this kind of slopes into it?
right.
Right, and I would just take these, a little bit more of those right behind it like that. You know. I love the wobbliness of it. I love it. Oh, this one kind of. And you tuck your reeds into the side here, just a little bouquet. Love it. I don't know if you're going for any reflections, because like the way they are, it looks like they're more up into the foreground.
That's
and that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And by the way, you know, I carried this back here like this. If you'll notice, you did it in the reflection.
Right, I kind of got lost in that whole part when we were painting. So.
It's all right. Okay, maybe a little bit of
And that needs to be broader to match the tree above it.
yeah. Few shorelines there, something, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
It's a happy painting. I love it. Just those colors just make me happy. Okay. Shelly. Hello.
Good morning, Rob.
Good morning.
Oh, pretty.
Beautiful colors. Beautiful handling of the paint. What, is this like your fourth watercolor?
No, I cannot say that, but I really enjoyed this one so much today. Thank you.
I was just making fun because you catch on quick. Wow, look at the way she handled this grid stuff, huh? There's a way to do it. Did you do that with a pen or something, or?
Oh, just so
I'm jealous. Yeah, and then, by the way, can you guys see how she went from this overall kind of warm to this overall kind of cool, and then this overall yellowy orange to this overall bluish violet. Did I just make like a turtle in there? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Now, and you went darker with this side and kept this one lighter.
I know. I really was working on not doing my darks so dark. And
Yeah.
the left side, the tree side got away from me.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like that, so. But I see, and I like how you faded them. Fade, fade, fade. And then she even got more faded back here. Great idea. Well, that's beautiful. Looks like you did it pretty quick too. No reads, huh? Not that you have to, right?
Well, I liked a long horizontal.
Oh, you did that one.
3x9 format. So I did it from the other painting,
Yeah.
the other photograph.
Mm-hmm. And then you could always throw in a couple of those if you like. Squiggly. Wait, you got this squiggly little windmill in there if you like. Anyway, very nicely done. Very effortless looking.
This was the second one, so it was a lot easier. And I tried to go fast.
So you did too. Beautiful. Love the way you handle this architecture too. Huh? Nice. Okay, looking good. Looks beautiful. If I had to say anything, maybe a little stronger color in the water.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's about it. Easy enough.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thanks. Beautiful. Okay, we've got Daryl. All right, well, that's a strong color. That's strong.
Thank you.
Strong, and yeah.
I don't know, Rob. I would have looking at it now. I would prefer to lower the horizon line so I get that first windmill larger. You know, I think that's what happened. If I lower the horizon line,
yeah,
then I get that first windmill larger. I think that's important to that C. That first windmill should be much bigger.
Yeah.
But to do that, you got to lower the horizon line. See, right?
Yeah, or you can just chop some off the bottom. But you want more sky. I see what you're saying. Yeah. But anyway, let's see. I like the way you handle this, all kind of calligraphic and, you know, Just do that. Just get a little bit in there, and you're done. I love it. And then yeah, I left that now. Now usually after this dries, I might come over this what do you call it? The bank right there.
Is that too dark?
No, I would just make this a little bit. I would glaze something over the lights there. Like I might take a little bit of something over that light.
Oh,
the light
straighten
part.
it out?
Yeah, just so it's. Just so there's just a little bit of something along the shoreline edge. That's all. That's the only reason I left that way.
What do you mean, a harder line, a straighter line there, or what?
I just mean darken this light. Darken the light right there.
I see.
Yeah, see how bright this is? Just to take that down a little bit.
Okay. A little more shadow in there?
Yeah. Yeah, a little more shadow.
Yeah, it's looking too bright. Yeah, it is. Good
Mine
point.
might be a little bit on the dark side of it, yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't be. Yeah, I got a bright line there.
Yeah. This reflection looks great. Oh, you really got that. That's beautiful. I might hit a couple of little dark things down at the base.
Okay.
Couple little dark things, but
you don't think they should be bigger, huh? Some bigger ones? Or,
you know, you can always get away with throwing some bigger reflections into the ground. Oh, sure. If I had to say anything, you know, geez, what do you think of those? You see how these kind of come down in one little row like that?
Yeah.
So then if you're going to throw in a big one, maybe throw it in here at the, you know, over here, just to kind of break that angle up. Maybe a diagonal one, like over there.
I missed the blue in the middle there. The water, I don't know why.
I would put a glaze over that, you know.
You know, the water, I didn't carry the water further back enough. It's just too light there.
Yeah.
I mean, the middle of the painting there.
You mean here?
Yes, yes. Just too pale there. Don't you think it should be more blue there?
Yeah. A little bit of that. And then maybe a little bit of this magenta, maybe throw a little of that in there as well.
You know, I looked at the photo, it looks like the horizon line is dead center. So
yeah, I know, huh?
You know, so it should either be below or above, right? I mean,
yeah.
Going above.
Yeah. So you just made a bigger issue out of the water. That's fine.
I think this painting would be better, the horizon line a little bit below center. Get that windmill
More
bigger.
sky, huh? Mm-hmm. I could see maybe some of these clouds being a little more definite there.
More clouds in there?
Yeah. I mean, if you want. If you do that, just.
Okay. You know, take care of that light area there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might.
Yeah. I might and get a little stronger with your yellows and oranges.
Okay. Yeah, that might help it right there. Yeah, it's kind of flat in the middle there.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, Daryl. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Good. To Suzanne. Pretty.
Oh, wow.
I like the green in the sky.
Thanks.
Beautiful. I like the pink in the sky. Nice reeds. You got some nice reflections on your reeds. Look at these reflections. Wow. Yeah. You know, this kind of shows me, it tells me you like doing reflections.
I'm good at following your directions.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say, not really, Rob. I don't really like doing reflections at all. Please don't ever get it.
I'm frustrated with them. I think they're hard. So I just try to follow your lead.
Well, that is the lead right there. I mean, you know, to just squiggly edges. And then just as things get higher up, they get fuzzier along the edge because they're just further away. That's all.
Okay.
So, nice windmills. Let's see. Nice looking trees. Well, you got this color in the background. This sort of blue along the horizon looks perfect. And in the water, I might see this light back here. I might just take some of these background colors into it. You did there, just, you know,
Yeah, a little more.
you stop right there. Just take it there.
Okay.
Maybe close those up a little bit, that's all. And let's see. If you
Better darken it more.
Yeah. That's there. And I think this even the tree will have a little bit more shading on the side there. Just think of that, yeah. Little sides to things. So it has a light side and a shadow side.
Yeah.
You know, a little light side, shadow side. I mean, there's not. Yeah, this is great. Any kind of detail, more, you know, if you wanted to put more cattails in there, you could. Looks good the way it is. You want to take your fingernail in there and scribe it up, you can, but it looks perfect. It looks beautiful. So don't if you don't want to.
Okay.
Why, Rob? So I don't know. Let's see. I might throw a little color into this, a little violet or blue.
All right.
I mean, if I had my druthers,
All right.
that's about it.
Now, will I have to add white to that because it's pretty dark?
Right. So if you don't want to, don't do it. But if you want to, what you could do is lift that up a little bit. You know, you don't have to put it. You don't have to lift the whole thing up. Just in parts.
Right.
Just kind of lift a little bit up, let it dry, and then glaze a little bit blue, or maybe something warm into that as well.
Okay.
Magenta as well, just to get a little more color into those darks.
Okay.
By the way, this cloud in the background is magnificent. Really, you really nailed that. Looks good in the water too. You see how bringing something right through all that architecture really does something. Really, you get this serious overlapping there. That's why it works. It really feels like it's in a setting because it's overlapping that way in the background. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Beautiful. All right. Wow, that is a very beautiful sky. Wow.
Well, thank you. I did what you said you do on purpose. I put it all in and hated it and scrubbed it all back out.
Yeah?
Redid it.
Oh. Those paintings are a little they're a little scary, but at the same time, when you're successful with them, it's called the payoff, right?
It sure softened everything up.
Yeah. I would have never known.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Looks nice and simple. I mean, really pulls together very nicely.
Oh, thank you.
The way you pulled the orange right behind everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got the little pinks in the sky there, little accents. That's great. Water looks great. Maybe a little more jiggy lists around the edges, but who knows?
I'm just wondering about the reeds. I think they need more contrast or cool, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe some darks at the base.
Yeah, something like that.
And then pull a couple of little stripey things. I mean,
yeah,
fingernail scratches across it, maybe possibly.
yeah.
And then what I was saying was just maybe hit a diagonal in there once in a while, like
Yeah.
because they are a very similar height. So I would probably, pull one up higher. Of course, that might not show. So maybe we had a little diagonal in there and throw that into the water.
Yeah.
A few here, a few there. I love this little one that just trails off like that. That's a good move. Yeah. Besides that, I mean, this is perfect.
Good.
This edge right here, I can see it glazing that down a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of touched it here and there, but I didn't go all the way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something to just take your time with, but I just kind of glaze that down a little bit. Anyway.
Yeah.
Like that.
Did that. All right.
Yeah. This shoreline looks great. Nice painting.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Any other questions?
No, I can't think of it. Thanks.
Okay. All right. And up here. Barbara. All right, pretty colors. Got watery in the sky there, huh? Going everywhere. Okay. And these feel a little light to me, but it's watercolor. If it dries light, you just put a glaze on it, So.
Okay, you think I should glaze those a little darker?
If you like, I mean, they use your judgment on that, but my suggestion would be to make them this is obviously too dark, but a little darker, I think. Especially, up in the foreground, it might, then maybe a little lighter, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then if you do that, of course, bring that down into here.
Mm-hmm.
That was me jiggling up the edges there. I think the windmills and the way you handle them in here is just fine. Keep it. I like it really sketchy like that, so that's fine. All right, now this. I'm wondering if we could take another bush, maybe a little higher or something over here. Just for the balance.
Mm-hmm.
For a little bit of balance. So what happens is that this is your classic still yard composition. So you have a lot of mass on this side. Let's say there's a fulcrum, like a teeter-totter or something like that, right? And then so if you put your other little mass over here, it kind of starts falling over like this direction. So the objective is to put something a little more out there to balance all this out.
Okay.
I should have said something about, I didn't even say anything about that. I should have said that earlier. Sorry, you guys. But anyway, I would put a little more weight over here. I think a little more weight over there. Just in that. I don't know why I didn't say anything about that type of composition. Anyway, sky looks pretty cool. I like all these colors in there. Looks a little different down here, but I think that's fine too. If anything, I might include some of this blue up in here. I know you have the blue up there, maybe a little stronger.
Okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little more of that in there.
What about under those reeds where it's kind of light? Do you think that should be darker or leave it light? the water.
I think you should come in with a few darks at the, you know, especially down at the base, and then really smack a couple in there, you know, really not everywhere, but just here and there. And then I bring that reed color down into here a little further. You know, just take all this and flop it upside down here, and then take your fingernail and scratch into it if you like.
Okay.
Looks like you got some of that scratchy action going on over here. Did you do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you get it under your fingernail?
Maybe, yeah.
Just don't put your fingernail in your mouth now. Oh boy. No, I've never done that. I've never once ever done that. And then I would probably put a glaze over this white edge here. Some kind of color.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that, but then I sort of like the white, but maybe a tiny bit of white or something. Yeah.
Then I would take the sky color, whatever's in the sky, maybe some of this stuff, and put that in it. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still very light, but because right now it's the lightest thing in the painting. Kind of right now the highest contrast is here, so that's where I would go.
Okay.
So just pull it down a touch. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. This is a great lesson. Thanks.
Thanks. Okay, we got Betsy 2. And I'll go with this one.
Betsy 2, please.
Yes. Whoops, this one looks, why am I getting this all the time now? Huh.
I don't know. I don't think
Sent from your iPhone. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, it's from my iPhone.
Do you usually send it from your iPhone?
Yeah, I always do. Yeah.
I don't know why I start doing that now. Maybe I got some sort of update. All right, nice colors. I like how you were, now you see how she gets this kind of cut out effect right here? Let me see. So you'll get that cut out effect when you're working wet over dry. So it has to be dry, or you'll get a wet edge. And I mean, so here's the question. It's a rhetorical question, but the question is, do you keep the puddly edge effect because you like that beautiful edge? Because technically it would be fuzzier that far away than maybe this one over here. But do you keep that because of the beauty of the paint? And I always go with the beauty of the paint or the beauty of the effect over, or shall I say, I usually try to do that over the rules. So the rules would say you need to make this more fuzzy. And because, and you know, there would be more contrast. That's further away, more contrast than this. Here's the thing, it looks good. You know, so that's what overrides things, in my opinion. So what looks good overrides facts and rules. Okay, look at that. That little square I put in there looks like a painting, doesn't it? All by itself. Look at that. Leave it. Don't touch it. That's what I'm trying to say. That was my long-worded way of saying, don't touch this. Don't touch it. Okay. And I look at this. You got the puddle effect. Okay, and then you got the serious bloom effect here. That's just watercolor all the way. You know, everything about that screen is watercolor. So definitely leave those effects. And you know, here we got a little darker in there with the reeds. I like how you treated it sort of calligraphic and nondescript, because it doesn't have to be very defined or anything. You have a couple of what do you call it? Diagonals in there. That's fine. You got this one. It is Let's see. So if you don't have any questions about this, I think it's just fine.
Yeah, it was really mushy, and then I threw the black in it. Really helped.
Yeah, it grounds it, right? Yeah, it does. It'll do that every time. I mean, you could argue that a lot of this would be reflected into this, and then it looks like to me, like you said, well, yeah, but I want to see some sky in there. So,
yeah.
You know, so that's the artist making the artist's choice. That's what you do. That's your job. Okay. Okay, then, like I was saying, a little more sides to some of these. So, like we got a light side and a shadow side there, maybe a little bit of a shadow side in here to some of this vegetation.
Yeah.
And then if you're going to do that, then I would bring that down into the water too.
Okay.
Technically speaking, these would probably be a little larger. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, what do I care about? What I care about is mainly what you care about. If you think that works, that's fine. I think it works. I'm fine with that. I probably would have squiggled them out. Now, if you'll notice, when I put the squigglies in there, anytime I put a squiggly in there, squiggly edge, that's the ripples of the water, right? The ripples of the water get a little bit bigger as they get toward us. Okay? So anytime you put a ripple in the water, make sure it's very horizontal. Any kind of ripple.
Got it.
So if you go this way, it still feels pretty good, but I would have gone a little more horizontal with those squigglies. That's all, because that's all you're doing is you're sort of shorthanding the effect of water kind of going over and over and over and squiggly.
Okay.
So, all right.
Understand.
Yeah. That's it. Anything else? Any questions? Love that orange. I might throw a little bit more of that down in here.
Okay.
All right. Okay, then. Thank you, Betsy.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Robin. Ooh, yeah, why is it, Robin, I always recognize your style?
I don't know.
You do have a way of working. It's weird. I mean, you know what it is? I think it's the way you seem to like big spaces. Big spaces. Contemplated spaces.
This image felt particularly contemplative to me.
Oh. But I don't know, it's just the way you handle the paint. And yeah, I recognize your style. And that's what happens when you look at somebody's style often enough. You start getting a feel for it.
Uh-oh.
Everybody in here, I recognize everybody's style. Let's see. The soft edges is a good way to get soft edges. It's a good way to get, I call it the residue effect, Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll hit, like, let's say my windmills or something like that. I'll hit them in while it's wet. And then you get this residue around the outside. And then you come back and clean up the edge later. I don't know if that's what you did, but that's a beautiful
exactly
effect.
What I did. I was trying to make everything sort of blurry and watery. And I think I went in, well, it was too wet.
Yeah.
But learn.
Let's see. Can this move over? No, it's not moving over. I was just trying to show that. Let me get down here. Your tree in the background here, you can tell you laid that in there wet, and then you came back and cleaned the edge up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's one of my favorite things in watercolor. I love that. You end up with this little ghostly effect in the background. I mean, it's something that I should just, I'm going to put a note down here. I started making my notes on what to do for next week. Ghosty effect. I'm just gonna put that down. Next week, ghosty effect. Oh, ghost. Okay. Now, you're the only one that I've seen so far that pulled your reeds over the line. Why'd you do that?
Because I felt like the way they were going before, they were sort of in no man's land in terms of composition. So I thought this way I could have a really pronounced foreground. Then the second reed is the big windmill, and then, or maybe, anyway, just a way to draw you in that was a little bit more pronounced.
Well, you really get the overlapping there. You know, I noticed in my piece, I don't have hardly any overlapping very much. Maybe a little bit in the clouds and stuff, but that's a great move, pulling that over the shore, over the background shoreline like that. Yet you didn't cover up your tree in the background, but you get that overlapping effect. So that's a designer, art center designer right there. I mean, good. I do agree. Pretty brave too. That's one of those things where you're going, well, did you do that in your comp too, by the way?
Kind of. My comp was on different paper, and it was a lot looser, and I was really disappointed that I didn't get that looseness in this painting. But I did, you know, that was also where you're not feeling like the painting is as strong as you'd like to be, so you start making bold moves because that's the only thing that's going to help it.
Yeah, it's a bold move. Now, if you wanted to scratch a couple of things in there, you know.
Yeah, the scratch thing is really cool.
Totally up to you. Yeah, well, you can pour glitter in there too with a little bit of salt and alcohol.
Man, glitter's my favorite. I should really stick some in there.
Well, I think they have this, what's it called? Iridescent paint. So I haven't bought any yet, but I don't know. Okay, so this is very nice and simple. I think it looks just great. All this, I think it's great. This is a little large. I don't really care, but if you care that that's a little large, what you could do is bring up your shoreline up down in here a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, that might cure that a little bit. If it matters, it doesn't really matter, but okay. Nicely done.
Thank you. It was a great exercise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We've got Diane. All right, nice values right away. Your values really pop.
Thanks.
Another art center designer.
This was a fun one, Rob.
Good.
And thanks again for the perspective lesson. That was great.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it works.
Okay.
It does. Everything kind of goes to there, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It really brings. I mean, that's part of the. You could obviously that must be the. When I was looking at windmills, I kept seeing this picture over and over. It looks like 100,000 people have taken this photo. So, by the way, I downloaded these off a free. What's it called? Not royalty free, but it's. They say that they. What is it? It's not royalty free, but it's called. Anyway, it's fine for anybody to use these for any purpose they want. They just ask that if somebody's going to use it for money purposes, that they acknowledge the photographer, but that the photographer doesn't want money for it. They just want acknowledgement. So
Rob, can you send us a link for that if you get a chance?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, because I found it and I thought, oh gosh, and it's got great photos. So I'm I'm definitely looking hard at that one for our photos. So
Rob, is it called Unsplash? Is it the site called Unsplash?
Unsplash. I'll write that down. No.
Oh.
I'll write that down though.
Because there's a site called Unsplash. It's all one word, but it's Unsplash, and it's all, you can use it for, you know, whatever purpose, but you should give a nod to whoever the photographer is, and they have all kinds of categories, and it's beautiful. It's just really wonderful stuff.
Okay. Well, this is exactly the same idea. So
I'll put it in.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. I think your piece looks great. Any questions?
Oh, you were talking about that, you know, the tree, that mass in the far distance. Did I get that too dark? Because
well, it is black in the piece. I know. So
yeah, but I remember you saying everything looks darker. I mean,
mine's about as dark as yours. So.
Oh, okay.
But
because I
think what I was saying was that it was, you know, you wouldn't want to get it too close in over here.
Okay.
Now, technically, it is, you know, if you wanted to go by perspective, maybe it should be a little bit lighter, because if you wanted to read further away, like maybe it's like this far away.
Okay.
And it's on the shadow. Now we are catching mostly shadow all over here. We could have even left a little bit of light. Looks like you did. A little bit of light up here.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So, but I think I think it's fine. If anything, you could lift a little bit of light off there.
Okay.
Make sure we're muted, everybody. Not you, Diane.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, just so we're not making extra noises. Okay. And then, you know, I said possibly these do kind of fit into a unit here, so I might put a couple of scragglers on the end if you like.
Oh, I see that.
A couple of darkies here. I think that might be Daryl. Hey, Daryl, could you mute yourself there, sir? Oh, there you muted. That's not you. I'm sorry. You're not. You're muted. I can't see who's muted. Anyway, okay. And
okay, I'll do that.
Then I see a pink in the sky here. Maybe a little pink in here.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yep.
Oh yeah, really. It's a nice piece.
Well, thank you. That was fun. I just let all those what do you call it, blooms and stuff happen in the sky. So I was happy to be able to do that. Yay.
I know, huh? I like to just play with, I'll just play sometimes and just experiment and just let the paint take over and just abstract. It's a nice piece of abstraction next to something very realistic. The two together can be very, very complementary. So, okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Diane. Let's go. All right, let's go. Wow, nice colors.
Thank you.
And I call it, you know, this is very in keeping with the way you usually do things. It's very colorful. I mean, I don't see the line work you usually do, and I think that's just fine. But I do see this sort of broken, I call this a broken, see how all these marks that just, they don't necessarily all work into each other. It's just the broken look, which is very impressionistic. A lot of impressionists would do that.
You know, Rob, why I have that? Because
why?
Old paper.
Oh yeah?
Yes, I didn't put the watercolor, so this is for oil.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's why it goes dry.
Oh.
I left it some.
Yeah. I could see maybe a couple more yellows and oranges in your water, maybe down in the water.
Okay.
Possibly. I mean, let's say a couple oranges down there too. Reds, pinks, oranges. Windmills feel fine. Spice fine. Reeds. Maybe some darks down at the base of the reed if you like. Any questions from you? I mean,
well, if I another one, I'll take more risk.
Yeah, if you do another one,
Risk, and then this is I didn't take a risk.
Aha. You know what they say, no dare, no flare. Yeah, I mean, get in there and if you want,
Yes.
get all calligraphic with it like you do.
Yes.
Besides that, I mean, I think you have a nice looking piece there. I mean,
Thank you.
but it's not doing it for you. You want something more risky?
Yes.
Sometimes it takes doing one of these to let it rip, Sometimes you need to do a couple of them.
Yes. I didn't grab this. This is the first time I did that.
Yeah. Anytime I go to a new place that's foreign to my eyes, I go through that. I'll be really, I think it's because I'm wanting to study it or something. I don't know what it is, but it takes me, I remember when I went up to Mammoth, it took me like 10 paintings to finally get my groove. I'm like, I usually paint with more authority than this. What's my problem? And then it took a while, and then suddenly, finally, I started finding myself again. It threw me.
I've been to Holland, and I really love the Holland.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to preserve some of the essence of rather than make it my style.
Yeah. So now you got to give yourself permission to do your own style, right?
Right.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. We got Gina. Hey, Gina. Nice to see you again.
Welcome, Gina.
Yeah. Hey,
Rob, I didn't get the photos. I don't know how you're supposed to get the pictures.
Oh, you know what? Oh, you next time during class, just unmute yourself and tell me, and I'll email it over to you.
I just took a screenshot off the computer and.
Oh, okay, that's great.
That.
So what I just I didn't get you the photo.
Yeah.
I saw that you were joining, and it didn't occur to me to give you the photo. Darn it! Sorry.
It's all right.
Well, it looks like you pulled it off anyway. You working in water-based oils or?
This is acrylic.
Acrylics. Oh, okay, nice. Nice. Throwing in some big old values. You didn't put those reeds in there, huh? You don't need to.
Well, they weren't in the picture I was painting from. I had the one that you just showed on the screen for a minute. So.
That's right. That's right. All right. Looking good.
I wish I had put the horizon line lower and had more sky and less sea. That's what I would have done.
How big is this?
It's 11 by 14.
11 by 14, yeah.
My usual size.
That's cool. So now,
What is the backing? Is it board or paper?
It's a board. It's a panel.
Yeah. Good. Let's see. Let me get my little tool out here. Yeah, it looks great. I mean, if anything, maybe a little variation in the colors, in the darks. You got blue, maybe something else, maybe some blues, greens, possibly. I don't have a dark green, really.
No green in that painting at all.
A little bit, maybe some in there, if you like. And there's nothing wrong with your painting. I love the water right here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Something very, very nice about that. I know there was a little more architecture sticking out the side, so if you wanted to, there you go.
I just got like enough.
I know, right? Yeah.
Architecture. Like, okay, enough architecture.
You know, if I were painting in your medium, I might use my palette knife to put those in.
I tried and I was just not having any success today.
Oh, maybe they were a little too rigid for this painting, maybe.
Yeah.
You know. Or if you did the whole thing in palette knifing, maybe.
Yeah. Next time.
You know, if you like, maybe some stronger shadows, but not necessary. It's up to you. And maybe some edges here. A little edge work if you like, but yeah, I mean, looking at a pretty nice painting there.
Thank you.
No lilies?
Really see them from what I was painting.
Oh, okay.
When I was painting from, so.
Okay. Well, that's about all I have to say. I mean, it's a nice looking painting.
Thanks.
And it's nice to have you back in class. Hey.
Yeah, fun to be here. I haven't
thanks.
myself to paint all this time, and I thought, oh, better start.
Yeah. Yep. I hear you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Michelle, wow. I'm getting all kinds of weird stuff on here. Okay. You went vertical with it. Now that feels really, that feels like Emil Nold.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if he painted windmills.
You know, at some point when I start painting watercolor, it ends up gouache. So, you know.
I know. Nold used, you call them watercolors, but they're really gouache. It feel a lot like this. This feels so Dutch. Wow. I like that composition. Look at some of these colors. Yeah, your background looks great.
Yeah, that was the watercolor part.
This sense of light you got, this little light burst in here looks great. I mean, that looks very much like the actual photo. That burst of light there. And you got your little reeds down there in the corner. That's just fine. I think the water looks fantastic. I don't know. I mean, what? You having any issues with this piece? I don't have any issues with this piece. Really.
You know, I don't know what you call them, the windmill parts, the sails. I don't know if that's what you call them, or the windmill. They kind of got out of control. Like, and so I'd like them to be a little more delicate. That and the structure off those things that you told Gina to put in. Well, I put them in, but they just feel too heavy.
Yeah.
So maybe a little more delicate work. I think I'll do this one again, actually. And I do like the composition, but I really don't know why. Well, I probably do know why my watercolors always turn to black. And it's okay. It's just that's not where I intend to go, and then I kind of end up there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, yeah, no, I think I'll do this one again and see if I can get it to be a little more delicate and not quite so heavy. But, you know, it is what it is.
So I saw the arms off to the side, these little triangles, but do they actually come out at us too?
Well, there is some, I don't know which, there was some white thing that was coming down in front there that I saw. I don't know what that is. I just put it in there, and I kind of like that, breaking up that space of the last probably two white.
Yeah, I might put a glaze of something warm on that.
Yeah.
But but that adds dimension to this. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that's a good idea. And then maybe throw it in the water or something.
Oh, yeah, right.
And reflecting. Yeah, I love your cropping. So you guys, you see this, you see the negative shapes she gets here and in here. Because of the cropping, look at all these great negative shapes she gets. You know? And you overlap the things and you get all these, and look at that little triangle in there, you know. Yeah. Very effective and works. This works really well. I like your brave composition though. It's a brave and beautiful dynamic composition. Yeah.
Thank you. I treated my windmill like you tell me to treat trees. Take it right off.
Yeah. And I like that you overlapped these over your windmill. Really gives it some more depth, because you have this overlapping this, and then you have your, oh, and by the way, putting these in with white gouache the way she did, these overlapping, that might be a really great way. Instead of the fingernail thing, you can put them in with just like a watered down white gouache will do it. That's a great way to get that effect. And then it works fantastic on you. Look at the overlapping of the ripples on top of the reflection. So that works.
Great. Thanks, Rob.
All right.
So any advice to how not to go into gouache all the time? I mean, I don't know. Maybe this.
Now, here's what you do, okay? You take your gouache and you put it in the back of your car. You don't get it anywhere near you.
Well, honestly, the only gouache I have is the white. But
oh yeah, take your white.
All water gouache, take it away. Okay, fair enough.
Put it really far away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The advice is try not to go for the darks too fast.
Yeah.
Work it from light to dark, and try not to go. I know you're used to going right into them, but go try to save them for the end.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good advice. Thank you.
I didn't do that in mine, but I mean that's usually that's the discipline.
Thanks, Rob.
Sure. And we've got. Oh, wait. Mitsko, Gina. There you go, George. See, George, your colors feel like Holland. You know, they love those bright colors there. Kind of pure pigment.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice, and now that's definitely what I would call the broken stroke, right? All these broken strokes.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of impressionists do this, and expressionists. You know, we should probably look at some expressionist watercolor. Let me write that down too, so I can show you, because they write that down. Maybe I'll do a quick little ditty on that next time. But yeah, and the expressionists would definitely do that really broken stroke, because it feels like a dream. It feels dreamy, like an impression. Instead of a photographic rendering, we have this sort of here and there type of thing. Okay. All right. So what do you think? Any?
I'm happier with it now.
Yeah.
Than I was earlier. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Now, what do you think of maybe making this one a little darker?
Well, I wanted it to recede in
right,
and I thought that's why it would be lighter. But
right. I'm wondering. I'm just
in front of the middle one.
Yeah. I was just wondering, because it gets lost in there a little bit. Maybe what we can do is just hang on to the shadow a little bit.
Okay.
And that does it.
Yeah.
And even here, maybe there a little bit more. And of course, possibly even bluer back here on this one. Like, bluer in the shadow.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, for the perspective, a little bit. And I think we're looking pretty good.
I got opera in there.
You got the opera in there.
Yep.
Oh, and you got it down here.
Yeah. I only did 3 windmills.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't. 3, 5. Should have put 10 in there.
The reeds look a little like a clump.
Yeah, so so now that you have enough dry brushing in there, maybe come in with some individual strokes.
Okay.
You know, and, occasionally hit a diagonal, or maybe even, I noticed some people put some just out here on their own.
Yeah.
That was a good move. Just kind of.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I think that would help.
Yeah, I think Robin did a couple of those. That looked really good. And then you could even do Robin's trick and pull one way up here. Just make a little more uneven with a couple of these. And then if you do that, maybe take them down right over your name. Just take them down a little bit here and there. Did I just write 1, 2, 3, 4? No. Yeah. And there was something else I was going to say. Darn it. Let me see. Oh, I was going to say that this looks. It does look in keeping with your other paintings. Even though you don't have your Moreau things going on in there. It does look in keeping with your other paintings.
They look connected, or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Of course, there's always the suggestion of maybe you should do a little Moreau in there. I don't know. That looks fine. All right then.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Toby. So I don't know why I'm getting that message, but it must have something to do with my. I'll bet you there was an update on my thing. Okay, broken strokes, and wow, look at that watercolor. This painting looks like it's just bursting. That's cool. I should have been brave. You guys are making me feel like I should have been braver in my painting. Dang it. I'm gonna do this painting over. Yeah, that's a beautiful sky. You can do anything in a sky. That's what's great about skies. So it's so great just to let these watercolor effects happen and use this painting as an example, everyone. Just as an example of just letting it rip. Look at that. And then she let it dry. I mean, it had to be fairly dry for you to glaze these windmills over it.
Yeah.
And then, which is fine. I mean, just to lay down all that free watercolor and then let it dry and then to come back over with all this reality stuff. But I like the broken technique. You can still see some of the background right through your windmills, and I think that's just fine. I love your fainted reflections because they don't have to be exactly like what you're looking at. I went and painted mine exactly like what I was looking at, darn it. All right, bummer. How do you feel about how dark this one is on this side?
You know, that's my favorite part.
Okay, good. That's what I was asking.
I just was happy with that whole little shoreline situation there.
I like the skin, and it does look like Mickey Mouse. Look, Mickey Mouse right there. No, but honestly, it's got a nice feel to it. I like the dry brushing. Oh, I got an emergency phone call here. Hold on a second. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. My daughter got in a wreck. Sorry about that. She didn't.
Oh, good.
Okay, but it came close. All right. Sorry. She doesn't call me during class unless it's an emergency. So
Okay.
anyway, do you have any questions about this piece? It's looking great.
Good. I'm glad.
The way you handle the reeds, I think, is just fine. It's in keeping with the rest of your piece, which is really this kind of broken, watercolory broken technique. So
Yeah, it's just trying to keep it not overdue, kind of a thing which I think I tend to do. So
yeah.
But the only issue I have is in the ends, the colors didn't do exactly what I wanted them to do. I don't really think there's anything I can do to change them up, but not really sure what's wrong with them actually, but they don't sing to me or whatever. So I don't know if you have any hints.
I have one suggestion. What you do is you do it again.
Okay, sounds good.
You don't work on this one though.
Yeah. No.
Sometimes what happens is that the painting it's already done what all it's gonna do.
Right.
And if you keep going into it, you're just gonna ruin it, So what you do is you just do more. You do another one. And it might take you 2 or 3 more until you get that thing that you were looking for. Sometimes it is a very fickle thing, because you're talking about style and subjectivity and abstraction, that's something you get out of repetition.
Okay, I'm sorry about all the noise.
Well, that's okay. Sorry about walking out in the middle of your crit.
That's kind of crazy. Thank you, Rod. That's
all right. Thank you. Yep, sometimes you just got to do more. More and more and more and more. Okay, we've got, where's George? Okay, we got Marie. Oh, beautiful. Very, very warm painting.
Thank you.
Yeah, right away, very warm. And by the way, can you see how her sky lays out? See how the sky lays out and all these, and then she takes them down into the, some of this, maybe some of that, and you got a little bit of that. Yeah. Those clouds will also create depth and in perspective, because really what it is it's lines. Let me get this in red. There, you've got these perspective points way out here, and they actually do, believe it or not, they really do converge way out there. And they'll do the same. So it's 2-point perspective. And you got it. I mean, you definitely nailed it. There we go. Nice color. Oh. Yeah, I wish I would have got more violet with all this too. Yours look great. I like the warmer brown you're using. It feels like later in the day. So I'll have to rip you off on that one. And also, by the way, everyone, can you see how she used when she puts her squiggles in, see how they're really horizontal? I should have probably made a little bit more. We'll do more water. But that's what makes it look waterish. Same with these two. Maybe you could mirror some of those in a little bit more if you like. Besides that, you have any questions about this? This is
No.
I was going to say it's a nice looking piece.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know if I did that piece. I would be like, wow.
I think
A little signature on it, and that's about it.
the only thing that sort of bothers me is the reflection of the tree. It seems like it's too big for that little tree. But yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, technically it would be, a little less. But what happens is that the water can distort it and make it come, a little bit more. So it's perfectly acceptable. I didn't even notice really. If I noticed, I'm sure my brain just said that's fine.
Thank you.
Did you take a couple of little scratch marks in there, or?
No, I did scratch marks in the reeds, but just
scratchies. Because I was thinking, because you do have all this area, or maybe with white or something, maybe a couple of little things in there.
Yeah, that might help out.
That might do something. Who knows?
Okay.
That's about it. But gosh, look what happens if I do this. All right, let me get a really.
Oh.
Look at that! It's a painting.
Thank you.
So that's how you know. I mean, go around your piece and do this, you guys. Okay. Probably could use a better color, but you'll find little paintings within paintings, So.
It's fun. Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate your input.
All right. Hey, Daniel. Rob? Yes. I said, hi, Rob. Oh, hi. All right. Nice to have you back from your travels. All right. These do feel really reflection-ish, if that's a word. And now I'm reading this as maybe possibly these could be a little higher, because this all feels like reflection. Maybe something like, I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking. And nice looking colors, by the way. Nice in here.
Got a little way from me, the lilies.
Yeah. Seems like the horizon might be, well, it certainly could do this, though. There's no question about it. Yeah, if you flatten that up a little bit and give a little bit more of this on the top, I think. I do something. And what, did you get those lilies in there? You worked from the other photo? Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to get the lilies and they just wouldn't cooperate.
Well, this feels pretty good right in here. I think what they get light over dark over here, and that's kind of hard to do unless you wipe it out. Let's see. What do you think about strengthening up the shadow a little bit? It's not black or anything, but maybe, you know, maybe some blue. I've seen water that looks like this. Wow, this feels so glassy. That's a strong dark shadow, but I can see a little bit of shadow there. Yours feels misty, which is just fine. It's what happens when you when your values dry a little light, and that's just fine. I love this sky right here. This is just beautiful. Gosh, that is gorgeous. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, the sky was really light like that. I'd just leave it. A little yellow. Maybe a little yellow in the water there if you like. Other than that, I think we're looking pretty darn good. I can see maybe some shadows in here. You use this for the light, but you already have. And maybe come in with some, you started to do that here. I think that's great. Maybe a couple more in here if you like. Kind of, I think it dry brush them in there, kind of soft edged. Some shadow behind it. So this feels like it's casting a shadow behind it back here. Mm-hmm. And I go dark over all this. Dark over there. I thought it was real dark. Yours? Yeah, it's over here. Yeah, that's. Compared to the other side, it was. It's more of a pretty dark mix on the original, but yours showing up bluer than mine. Yeah, that's a beautiful. I love this edge. This edge right here is beautiful. Yeah, thank you. See, now I would take that right to the vanishing point like that, and then I'd find your shoreline, which is, I mean, I would approximately, I would think that that'd be right on the horizon. So, oops. So something like this. Come on, wait. See how the horizon's way up there? Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe if we brought that, the treetops. These, oops, kind of your blues. These blues down here up a little higher. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, but okay. Raise the other side. Yeah. The dry brushing of the windmill sails didn't work the way I wanted it to. Brush was too wet. Or maybe they're those thick kind. I don't know. I kind of wonder why they even have them on there, but I don't know. Why do they even have all those things on there? Maybe they actually, because you would think they catch the wind, huh? Yeah, they catch the wind and they make it spin, and those things that Michelle put in go pump up and down and pump. I've never seen one. I gotta get over there and see one. I've never seen one either, but they have other things like this in the Midwest. Crazy. Okay. I might try to pan pastel some of it. What was that? I might come back in and do some pan pastel on it and play with that. That's a great thing to do. Absolutely do that. Yeah. You know, Mark Hafman, he does pastel right on top of his watercolors, right on top of the watercolor paper, and it looks great. I gotta tell you, it's a good look. So Thank you. Thank you. We got Hector. There we go. That looks like a Hector. Oh, that's Hector all the way right there. I love you give so much personality to that windmill. Look at the character in it. See, that's the difference between painting things exactly like they look and painting things how they feel.
Don Quixote is definitely in there somewhere, Hector.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, he's right here. He's right there. Sancho Pancho. There he is. Yeah, look at that. Wow. I love the blue horizon, that blue stuff that happens on the horizon there. That's great. We talked about maybe some trees. I don't know. That's totally up to you. Whatever. Fantastic. Look, you really got thick. This is going to take a while to dry down here on the bottom, huh? Yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, it's still wet. Still wet. And so if I had anything to say about that, maybe it would be a couple of diagonals. Yeah. You know, I agree. A diagonal here and there, maybe possibly. You handled all this fantastic. I wouldn't even know how to. This is where I'd want to take lessons from you. I don't know what to. You and your calligraphic strokes are fantastic. Love them. Thank you. Love this blue right here. I don't know what made you do that, but that's great. It's a little spicy accent right there, isn't it? I guess it's a reflection of this, right? Who cares? It looks good. I know you do a lot of moves where you're just going on intuition, right? Right. I love that blue cloud in there. Well, beautiful. I mean, fantastic. You have any questions? Wonderful. And the line work, is fantastic. I'm gonna write that down too. Line. I'm not gonna have every day be academia. We gotta push style in here. Style is as much a part of art as anything else. And I'm not pushing enough style in here, so I'm making little notes of what I want to, of the direction I want to take the class. We only have about 4 more of these classes, I think, 4 or 5. So, in December, I think I'll start a new term and then we'll break and then we'll continue it up again in the new year, everybody. So I'll talk to you more about that later. But we're going to break for Thanksgiving, and then we'll come back for a couple, and then we'll break again. So anyway, I love this. Thank you. If anything, you probably heard me say this before, but I'll say it again. If anything, I could see in your tones back here, maybe in line 2. Like, so let's say you throw a big tone back. Let me use my other one. You throw a big tone back there, but you can still see a little bit of the line work. Like, see this right here? You did that right there? Yeah. More of that. Because it's just a lighter version of what you're doing here dark. So even your tones are lines. It's just, what's a line and what's a tone? You just mix it up. What's drawing and what's painting? Because you're drawing with line in here, but this is a painting. You can't do that. Oh, yes, you can. And you did. So, think about that too. All of this as what you're, as as you're throwing in calligraphic marks the same way you're doing, but in different colors and values. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. See, I look at you guys' pieces and it gives me ideas for what I want to teach next time. Okay, Henry, I'll do the second one here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Very light painting. Now, this is effective too, by the way. Taking your strokes, taking these strokes down, see how it kind of curves around? As if they're sort of swooping back into the piece, like perspective. Almost like a road would do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually the pens is a little darker than the picture. Yeah. It's a little overexposed. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I like a light watercolor. People like light watercolors too, by the way. You're just
it's not
just
too
being
dark.
a salesman over here. But yeah. Well, what was the question? Sorry.
No question. Go ahead.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why, but I think most people expect a watercolor to be light. They just expect it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I were to show them the picture I did, you'd probably go, "What is that? What is it? I don't know what that is."
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should do a night scene. What's it called? Niptone? I think there's a term for that. Nocturne.
You guys want to do a nocturne?
Nocturne.
Okay, we're gonna do Starry Starry Night. Next one.
Nocturne. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I'll write that down. See. Any suggestions you guys have? You can, like when I have the recording, you can email me. You just reply to that and email me, or you could just tell me now and I'm writing them down.
So with city lights or reflections in the rain night, something like that.
Yeah. Yes, cities.
Car reflections on the street. Something.
How about when it rains, a rainy day?
Yeah. That's the beauty for seeing, because we rarely see that here. We need that.
We've never done rainy in here, and I love to do rainy. I don't even know why I haven't done
Rain Street in the night with like a rare lights reflections.
That's what we're doing next week.
Yeah.
Yay.
I have one down already, but you know what? I'm canceling that one. I'm gonna find a rainy scene.
Rainy scene in the night. Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you guys want to, you can find one. Send it over to me. But I'm gonna look on my little page and see if I can find something. Anyway, your piece looks great. A lot of wet into wet here. A lot of dry brushing here. I love how loose. Look how loose and you can tell it's loose. Look at this. You can still see the white of the paper underneath all this. Just
it's a rough artist paper.
Yeah, the rough paper is better. Yeah, I wasn't working on rough. Yeah, I mean, your reeds look great too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
They do look all in one line.
Yeah, how do I break that?
What you could do is, it's a pretty easy solve. Just take some in the background.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just add more layers in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, just a few things in the background, and then you got it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm doing what exactly you're suggesting.
And the only thing else I could suggest possibly is when you put these in there, just when you put in your little squigglies, just make sure they're really level.
Oh, okay.
And that's, I mean, this is fine. This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It reads.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. All right, and Lynn.
Can you do number 2?
Yeah, this is number 2, I think. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I couldn't even tell.
Okay. Okay, beautiful, warm painting. You know, now look at how the blue gray gives a lot of life to these oranges. So it's not that it's almost stormy over here, and then you get all this beautiful orange sunsetty stuff over here. Great, beautiful, nice color. And you're getting that residue effect around some of the edges there. I like that. Yep, and you got your reflections down there. You got your squigglies down there, kind of horizontal. And then I could see possibly glazing, maybe glazing this white line down a little bit. You know? Just some of these whites are shocking, so I might glaze those down. I mean, you just take the sky into them, you know. So you got a little red in there,
Okay.
and a little orange or whatever you have back there. Just some of the whites are a little shocking. I think just killing a couple of these whites around would, in your piece, because you don't have enough white all over to balance them out. So just take this guy down right into them. I think your reeds are fine. I don't have any problem with them at all. Nice reflections and everything. Nice way to handle them.
Rob, I did not manage to get the color of the kind of orange reflections and the gold along the shoreline there by the windmills and some of the other places. Do you have any tips on how to make that color? Because yours was beautiful. Mine just doesn't.
You know, that was almost straight cadmium yellow. You know what I did is I pulled some other colors over it. But I threw it in all straight cadmium because I thought my sky was needing a little bit of little help. So I thought I'd throw the water in a little bit more saturated. And I got a little too saturated. So I think maybe I would just go over the sky again to make that even more, but I don't even care, whatever. But now you could probably just glaze some straight cadmium yellow over all this, you know, maybe not right over the top of these though, but just some straight, you know, cadmium, and see what that does. And it won't get it perfect, but you know, it might get it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, I would get a little bit. What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say take some of this blue up in the sky. It looks like it could be a little bit more blue down there. And some of this too, this gray stuff you could take, you know, down this way. Maybe they're, you know, like that. That stuff, I just took that down into there.
Okay, good. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, with that yellowy orange in here or something, because it gets a little blank right here. I think that's the trouble. So it's fine. It's gray. Just glaze away in there. Now this is one of those things where you might want to look at it. You might want to turn it vertically, and then just match this to this. You know, take that red right into there. Take that red right into there, and then see your blue comes all the way down into here. So I take the blue. Looks like your blue is almost all the way down into there. And it gets really dark down there or something. So how's that for destroying your artwork?
No, it's great.
Yeah. You know, you've done all the hard work. You just need to glaze in some color, I think. Just into the, it's just, there's subtle glazes. Yeah. Beautiful. Yours looks really English. It's got that English look to it. I think I've said that to you before. Are you English? Okay.
Fun.
Jolly good.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. And did I miss anybody? Probably did, right? I think I didn't miss anyone. Wow. That's a first for me.
I think Debbie left.
Debbie, you're right.
She
Is
had
she
to
on there?
leave. No, let's see. She said she had to leave. There was no need to critique, but I guess
Oh, okay.
she could critique so she could at least play it back. I don't know.
I don't see her work though.
Oh, it's not there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Rob,
Yes.
it's Gina. Can you just remember to put me on the list to get the pictures next time?
Yes. Let me write that down. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah. Thank you.
I will. Yeah, and by the way, if you don't have it, you can always email me. If I haven't got it to you by Monday or so, just tell me.
Oh, okay.
Because that means but even on the day of, if you don't, you can just tell me and I'll just quick email you. So no problem. Okay, but I got you down there.
All right.
That's it, everybody.
So much.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
We're gonna do a rainy,
Thank you. Thank you,
rainy
Rob.
nocturnal thing next time.
Cool.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye, bye,
Thank
bye,
you.
bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.